Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to The Last Viking TV. Now, you may be wondering why I wear a mask. Well, because I live in a complex here, and so, I just don't know who's sick. So, and I don't want to get people at my work infected. I'm a pretty healthy individual, so I could just be like a carrier. So don't want to be a carrier, don't want to get those people infected, and don't want to feel like crap because I would be the one that would infect them. Been hearing a lot about this self-quarantine. Let's just get some common sense out there. If you were to quarantine yourself, let's say for 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, if not everybody in the United States is doing it, then you could easily come out of your 3-month quarantine, 2-month quarantine, 1-month quarantine, minimizing yourself to everything, coming out and then still being infected. You actually have a higher risk of getting infected. Here's the reason why. Studies and proof shows that the less that you're subjecting yourself to certain bacteria infections on a daily basis, the more likely you are to experience higher infection diseases. So you're going to subject yourself to higher chances of getting this coronavirus. You definitely do not want to minimize your effects to, and this is not health advice, this is just kind of common sense stuff, right? I've been in the healthcare industry for quite a few years, so this is kind of just my own interpretation of what I would assume is going on, is that on a daily basis you continuously expose your body to certain bacterial infections and viral infections that your body fights off on a daily basis. Pollutants in the air, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. When you quarantine yourself, you're no longer exposing yourself to that. Therefore, once you come out of quarantine, self-quarantine, your immune system is no longer as strong as it would be as if you're just kind of out and about. So you run a higher risk by quarantining yourself and then coming out, because not everybody is quarantining themselves. What do? Minimize your lifestyle for a couple weeks, couple months. It doesn't matter if you quarantine yourself for a year and come on out of your cave, the viruses and diseases are still going to be there. So that's one of the facts that I just like to share. And then just stay healthy, eat right, stuff like that. The other thing is, I just came across another article that shows a lady who was 48 years of age who basically went to work one day. She has 4 children, I guess, and she went to work one day, came home, felt like she had a headache, and then she took her temperature. It was 99.2. She took some Motrin and for her headache. She fell asleep, and then she woke up and her temperature was 102. And then she started to have severe chest pains. She tried to contact the medical hospital near to her, and they said, well, okay, we'll bring you on in, we'll test you for this and that and this and that. So they tested her for like pneumonia, flu, cold. They did a lot of blood samples on her, a lot of different tests, just in order to qualify to test for the COVID. So you could test negative for all those other things, but test positive for COVID. And so you have to run through all the tests before you can be finally tested for COVID. So while you're waiting to be tested for COVID, you're basically a pincushion for those nurses. And at the same time, while you're sitting there waiting to be positive, you're already obviously positive. Just being tested positive doesn't make you positive until they finally give the results. You get it? So They want to, so in the process of you waiting there, you're going to be infecting those nurses, the staffs, the bed, the people next to your bed and stuff like that. So, I mean, and it's really, she was over it in about 2 days, 3 days. That was the worst case scenario that she had, was the chest pains and then the headache and the high fever. She said that it was actually something that she had never quite felt before. So that was her expression. Other than that, she says that you do feel miserable, but you know, if you haven't had the pneumonia or you haven't had the flu, you're probably not going to really know what miserable feels like until you actually have something like that. But, you know, everyone to their own. And so they're going to have certain issues. Each individual is going to have their own certain issues according to how they react to the virus itself. So with that being said, if this video was helpful for you, please drop a subscribe down below. And yeah, stay away from people if you're really concerned about this virus. Just kind of like keep your distance. Like, don't touch stuff, because if you don't mind sitting in the hospital and paying those doctor bills and getting stuck in the arm with needles and stuff like that just to get tested, then by all means have at it. Have as much fun as you want if you consider that fun. But yeah, for the rest of us, stay healthy, stay safe, stay aware. The patient also said that people are not taking this virus seriously, and they should be. So yeah, I mean, you know, take it as serious as you want. But this buying all the toilet paper, and I mean, I even saw like antibacterial hand soap was sold out. And in my previous video, I talked about what I thought that there was actually 5 categories of panic buyers, you know, and stuff like that. So there is a lot of people capitalizing on this stuff, which kind of gives a false impression to a lot of people that the end of the world is coming and stuff like that. As long as you know, believe in God and you've turned your side to God and stuff like that, I mean, you're pretty much safe. You're pretty much safe. I mean, and if you don't, then you got a lot to worry about. You should really be panicking. I mean, you should really panic, because let's say you get this virus and then you do die. You got a lot to panic about, especially if you don't know God. You got a lot to panic about. So in my previous videos, specifically a video called National Day of Prayer, that video topic can be found on my channel, where I do talk a lot about God and how to actually safeguard yourself from having to worry. Again, worry is not something that we're supposed to be doing, but you know, it's a natural feeling. But to actually overcome that is an ability that only God can give you. So if this video was informative to you, please drop a subscribe down below, and thanks for watching. Until next time, The Last Viking TV is out.